Okay, in this video, I'm going to show everybody how to draw this eye using the grid technique over here. Now, the first thing you want to do is tackle the value scale. I went ahead and I already did that in a previous video, so watch that video. That is the first thing to do. Second thing, I think it makes it a little bit more easy to follow is actually numbering each of the quadrants. So right here, we're gonna do box 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you guys can see, box 3 is already done for us. We're going to go ahead and we're going to tackle box 1, 2, and 4. First thing you want to do is grab the charcoal stick, so the loose leaf one, the one that draws the lightest, and we're going to start with a light sketch. So right here in box 1, we see that we have the eyebrow, and it looks like we have the top wrinkle of the eye, and so we're going to go in. And so about right there, it looks like this part, top part, right? We kind of see it extend all the way downward. This wrinkle right here, we kind of see it go down. Now we are in quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 has this little line continue. Then we actually see, and you know what, I'm going to extend that a little bit out. So you can grab your kneaded eraser to make any adjustments. I have this eraser because I forgot my kneaded eraser. And then what we're going to do next, you can also see in real time. So this has actually bent. It's because the way that I'm grabbing it, the heat of my fingers is bending it. Please make sure you're being very careful so that it doesn't snap, okay? From here, we can see the top of the eyelid, right? It's going downwards. And we can even see right here, we have the tear duct. And then we have right here the bottom of the eye. And then in square 4, we have this going up. We have this eyelash going down this way. This kind of is curling upward, right? And then we see the bottom of that kind of, right here. We see the bottom of the wrinkle. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like the wrinkle and the top lid are a little bit close. So I'm going to move it slightly. I'm going to move this slightly lower, and then this is going to make a whole lot more sense now. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, carve that, and then this we have right there. Okay, so we have the overall shape of the eye. Next thing we're going to do is draw the actual eyeball in there. And so first thing, we have half of that eye over here in box 2, and then majority of it is in box 4. Okay, then we see that the pupil is right here. We have a highlight going right over here. It actually does extend, so I'm going to take the pencil so we can see this a little bit more cleanly. So here is the eye, and then the highlight is actually right here. It crosses between box 2 and 4, so we see that right there. And then this goes upward, right? And then we do have the tear duct, and then the inside of the eye right there. Okay. And then we have kind of like the shadow right there. So we have the overall kind of sketch of the eye. Now what we're going to do, because the eye is shaded a little bit more dark than the other features we'll see or have seen, I'm going to go in and start adding kind of just like one range of value all over the whole thing. So I'm just going to add it all over from the side of my charcoal stick. Then I'm going to go in, I'm adding hairs. They do kind of move this way when they're a little bit more natural, right? From here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my blending stump just so that I can see where the eyebrow is going to be. And then from here, I can actually go in with my charcoal pencil and I can start making the hairs. And so the hairs, I always start right here at the bottom, just so that it looks like actual hairs growing out from the skin. Right, we always want to follow the direction. And so right here, we notice that it starts to shift. It's now because the hairs are now going to start falling flat. And here's where we see that transition. And so then when we're doing the top hairs, we just go in a little bit higher when we start adding those hairs there. Then right here as well. Here, I'm going to start adding some of those darker hairs. Okay, from here we see this little wrinkle. Kind of goes down this way. Kind of gets close to the eye. And then all of this is in shadow, so I'm going to use the smudging technique to kind of add that shadow. And I am going with a little bit more pressure right there where that line is, that wrinkle. And I'm going in and I'm loosening the pressure as I move upward. And then right here, this is in shadow as well. So we're going to go in and we're going to use that. So there's that first layer of shadow, and then I'm going to go in with this guy and I'm going to start blending it out. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I actually want to start applying value to the rest of the drawing. And so I'm going to do that right here, going and applying it in a circle. So there it is there. I'm going to go in and start applying some stuff here. Even if like the shadow doesn't look that dark in that area, we can always go back in and erase some of it. The thing with charcoal is no matter what you do with it, it's going to look natural anyway, especially when we're viewing it from further away. And so I'm not really concerned about it. From here, we're going to go ahead and we are at 8 minutes, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker. So here we're going to make this slightly darker. We saw that this was like that. We're going to go in, add a little bit of shadow. We have eyelashes, so the eyelashes are going upward. Right here, this is the pupil. Pupil is super dark, so I'm going to go in with a lot of pressure. In fact, I'm going to go in with this guy because this is the darkest one that we have. Okay. We're going to go in. This line here is super dark. In fact, typically it's a little bit thicker too. And then all of the value in there, we can actually go in, kind of start blending it out with this guy. But I would actually encourage you guys to start adding those yourself. And the way that I do it is I just kind of draw lines. So kind of like if it's a sun, and make it look like it's a shining sun, something like that. Over here, this is supposed to be slightly darker, so I make those lines a little bit closer. Over here, they're a little bit closer. There's more light over here, so I just make them slightly darker, closer to the pupil. And right here on this bottom area too. So go in just like that. it's going to get darker. But right here in that area, I kind of leave it so that it looks like that light is hitting. And then also I'm going to go ahead and clean up the highlight. And then we can go in, and I like to just slightly blend here and there. So just slight touches, but I don't go in super harsh. Okay, so now we have the eye in there. With the residue, there's actually shadow in the eyeball, so we're gonna go in with the residue. And it's just going to be in this entire eye area. And again, I go in a circle motion to make it look a little bit more natural. Now this might actually be cut into 2 separate videos, so catch me in the next video to finish this up.